Good morning. This video is in relation to a lot of interest paid by a lot of people, not only in this country, throughout the world, looking at what's going on in America. Purportedly, in the last couple of days, Joe Biden was sworn in as the President of the United States of America. Trump didn't bother to turn up at the inauguration. But a lot of things took place before then. On the 4th of December, Trump took control of the US Securities and Exchange Commission, where the Commonwealth of Australia Proprietary Limited is registered as a registration number of 0000805157. So it's registered there. Under that is Commonwealth of Australia Trading Company, LLC, registered in Delaware. Under that, another 18 companies. Those 18 companies contained a hell of a lot of things, like the registration of each state parliament, claiming to be a government, the Australian government, which it's not, and the private air force known as the Royal Australian Air Force. Well, how does that work when none of it has anything to do with anybody except the Commonwealth and the Governor-General? The Air Force is under the control of the Governor-General. Army, Navy, under the control of the Governor-General. ScoMo's a lying maggot of a person and a traitor to this country. But let's not get my opinions tied up with reality. Reality is he is a traitor. Reality is he's lying. His lips are moving, but apart from that, he's lying. Let's get back to Biden and Trump. When Trump took control of those corporations and had investigators look into them, who they were, what they were, he would have discovered what everybody else in this country should know if they kept their eyes open. If you go back a couple of years to a decision of Justice Kirby in the High Court in relation to Sydney City Council versus Reid, he told the DPP they were creatures of statute and therefore not officers of the Crown. How does that work? It's very, very simple. You're created by a statute. So the so-called governments are created by statute. Every government department was sold without authority. They belong to us, not to the so-called parliament. They passed so-called laws that weren't laws, not passed pursuant to the Constitution, not law, just lies. That's all they are, lies and fraud and statutes. So the reality is, for a lot of years, we've had creatures of statutes. Creatures of statutes are the parliaments claiming to be governments. They're just a creature of statute. They're not a government at all. It's just a lie. The Australian government, a creature of statute. The courts, creatures of statutes. Lawyers, creatures of statutes. The DPP and all the rest of it, all creatures of statutes. The police department and all the police officers, creatures of statutes. Why do you think they took away the charge of aggravated assault on a police officer and replaced it with, look at that, assault of public officer? Why are you a public officer? Because you're an employee of a company, a creature of statute. So what has all of this had, this effect of this American election have? Trump dissolved the corporation of America, dumped the deep state, drained a heck of a lot of the swamp. If you were paying attention and watched Biden when he was signing away, allegedly, Trump's orders, he was signing almost 1/3 or just over 1/3 up on the page. What a lot of crap. Are people so bewildered by what's going on, they're just not looking at what's happening? They think, oh, how wonderful, he's signed away all the things that Trump did. Why would you do that when he had previously stated in his little speech, or a speech prior to his inauguration, he was going to uphold the Constitution of America? Well, why did he dump it again, or alleged to have dumped it, and go back to the deep state and all their garbage they had prior, all the things that Trump got rid of and made America a better place? If you're an honest person, look outside the lies and nonsense or any rhetoric from anybody else, you'll see all the things Trump achieved, and they were good for America. But what he did do is establish the Republic back under the Constitution, a Republic of America. Now, there's Biden's problem. He got sworn in as the president of the deep state, the corporation. So now what have you got? You got a hell of a mess. How's it going to be sorted out? Well, that's going to be interesting. You can see who's behind the deep state, who's behind the corporation, the attempt to turn America into a socialist dictatorship, and then create their own little world of utopia, where everybody in it is happy. This is what they're purporting to give us, backed up by the fact that we will own nothing. How are you happy when you work all your life and earn nothing? There's only one way: drug you out of your brain. So you drug people out of your brain with fluoride, and that didn't work properly, did it? So what do you got now? You've got vaccines that have, look at that, formaldehyde. You have mercury called a different name. You have tissue from fetuses. This is from your own documents. So you want to fact check me, look it up. The documents are there. But who's backing this all up? All these lies, this deceit. Well, look who came out of the woodwork. First ScoMo, then the Premier of Western Australia, purporting to be some kind of an important person here. You're not. You're a lying traitor, and you know you are. Why'd you come out of the woodwork? Because you think since Biden has gone and become the president of the corporation, which no longer exists, you moron. ScoMo, you moron. It doesn't exist anymore. So what have we got now? We've got companies registered to a corporation that doesn't exist in America. The Commonwealth of Australia is registered in America to a company that doesn't exist. Commonwealth of Australia Trading Company is registered in America to a company that does not exist. Why doesn't it? Can Biden reverse what Trump did? No. Why? He was voted in to serve the people of America, not the corporation. You see, most Americans weren't aware of the fact they were run by a corporation, just like in Australia. They can't figure they're run by corporations, companies. They used to be. But all that came unstuck when Trump dumped the company and recreated America as a republic under their constitution. So now what have we got? We've got a bunch of deadbeats running around this country telling everybody they've got authority. They haven't. None of them. Not one single one. We've got the lunatics in Victoria called local government and their local government association trying to convince traitor ScoMo to add them to the national cabinet so they get to have a say in government. Hang on. No one elected you, fools. Nobody did. Nobody wanted you. You got rejected 4 times by the people of the Commonwealth, or the people who are the Commonwealth. We rejected you. You know, John West, the floppy salmon, that's you. You got rejected. You go to the dump where you belong. But, you see, you people are being controlled by a pack of liars. That's called the media. The media treat everybody in the world like mushrooms. They keep you in the dark on the facts and feed you nothing but bull dust. Just like mushrooms. Nothing comes out of it because nothing goes into it. I watched Insight last night and listened to the dribble from halfwits. All yous. Everything you said. What'd you do? Attack Trump. You haven't even looked at the facts. Is Trump 100% correct? I don't know. Is Biden? I know he's not. He built his presidency on fraud, lies, and treason. It is a fact, and it's spread all around the world, of how the voting machines were doctored. Anybody in a decent society would dump that election and start it again, which has to happen, so that the person who should be there. Whether it's Trump or Biden, it's not my choice. I'm not an American. It is my choice whether we have garbage political parties which are filthy traitors to this country, every single one of you, and as of the revelation that all the pedophiles are concealed for the next 80 or 90 years, sealed files so that they can't be prosecuted. Now, you're aware of that. That is an indictable offence. I'm bringing it to your attention. As of now, you are guilty of that offence if you do nothing. You are all pedophiles. Every single politician that does nothing or says nothing about the pedophilia in this country, and there's loads of it. I knew it when I was in the police force. I've known it ever since. I tell everybody what's going on, and they look at you strange as if where'd you come from? No, hang on. Lots of them have been busted. They conceal it. Conceal lots of things. What have they concealed about New York City and the White House? Who owns it? The Vatican. Who owns the City of London? The Vatican. Who owns the ACT? The Vatican. Who controls them all? The Vatican. Why do you think Trump went after him? Doesn't matter whether you like him or not. I'm sitting on the fence watching because I like to deal in facts. Why don't you? Why don't you apply it? The fact is, we don't have a lawful police force in this country. We don't have a lawful parliament. We have no lawful courts. We haven't had since 1960 when they dumped all the lawful governors. Let's get to the smartest guy in Western Australia, apparently. He's so smart he thinks he can lie to us and get away with it. Kim Beazley, the purported Governor of Western Australia. You are the Queen's representative in Western Australia. You lying, fat, treasonous fool. You are not. There is no such thing as a Queen of Australia. If that's the Queen you're referring to, you're that representative of the Socialist Queen. The Queen you hope to fool the people into believing actually is lawful. No, it's not. There is only one Queen, Queen of Elizabeth II, Queen of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, keeper of the faith or defender of the faith, the monarch, lawful monarch of this country. You removed it in Western Australia with the Oaths, Affidavits and Statutory Declarations Act. You removed the oath. Why? Why would you do that? Did you do it personally, Beazley? No. Are you upholding it? Yes. Are you doing your job as governor? Absolutely not. You're sitting back on your fat backside, collecting money and doing nothing. There is a letters patent for the office of Governor of Western Australia. You are required to comply with that. If you were the Queen's representative, which you are not, you would follow those instructions, because along with that letters patent comes, look at that, advice and instructions to our governor. Who's governor? The monarchs. Now, if you're representing, or you are the representative of the Queen in Western Australia, You would be representing her, are you? No. Are you lying? Oh, yeah. Typical of you. You've been accused of a lot of things. You're attainted of treason because I'm calling you a traitor, because you are. You've breached the oath you owe to the people. Why? Because you never took it. You've never taken it. You're a lying, stinking traitor. Under Section 44 of the Constitution, you're sitting unlawfully. You're attainted of treason. I'm accusing every politician, every judge, every magistrate, and every cop that follows the instructions of these lunatics.
Every lawyers.
And all the lawyers and all the people in the council, everybody exercising authority in this country, without first swearing the oath of allegiance as required by Chapter 3 of the Constitution, you are traitors. You've breached the oath that you owe to serve us. Oh, we serve you, we look after your community. Liars, you do not. You do not. You look after your political party, traitors. Now, the main issue that I wanted to discuss was the fact that not one of yous now are lawful. All of your corporations don't exist. They don't exist. So what are you now? Nothing. Why? Because you go back to the 7th of January 2018, using the provisions of Clause 61 of Magna Carta, I seized everything that was lawful in governance in this country. Lawfully seized it and filed it in the House of Lords. I have the confirmation it's there. They stated they're looking into it. They haven't said they've finished the investigation. So obviously they haven't. Or they're just sitting on it. Nonetheless, it stands. What took place then? The lawful seizure of the 3 lawful tiers of governance. The Parliament, the Commonwealth Parliament. Who holds it? The people do, under the Crown. Can you reverse that? No, because you don't have a lawful court. Susan Kiefel wasn't lawfully sworn in under the provisions of Section 72 of the Constitution. Sorry, Susan, you're not the Chief Justice. You're just sitting there in treason and lying. So your decisions are lies. Are they? Yes, our Constitution said so. Constitution lies? No, you do, yes. So does every single judge who sits in our court, who does not swear that oath as required by our Constitution. Don't like what I'm saying? Then do the right thing. Change. Every police officer, pick up a copy of the lawful oath, go to the local JP and swear the oath. Then front up to the governor and say, you control the police force, not the Parliament. Go read your Constitution, that's a fact. They cannot be controlled by the Parliament. Why? Because your main job, apart from keeping the peace, is to lock up the Parliament when it commits treason or fraud or theft on the people. Look at that. Is it true? Absolutely. Why don't you wake up to the fact you are all committing treason and fraud? You want to get out of it? Only one way. Swear the lawful oath, stand up and arrest the Parliament. You have that right. Do you listen to the commissioned officers? No, they're all employees of the government, which is not even a government, it's a Parliament. Has no authority. They can't put laws together. Has to be done by the governors in council at state level, Governor General in council at federal level. So what have we got? The biggest schmozzle in history in the world, created by lunatics called politicians within political parties. And that's the same in America. That's why I brought the subject up. It was said to me last night, what can you do? I can come on here and tell the truth, which is what I'm telling. Anybody who fact checks what I'm saying will know what I've said is 100% correct. The Corporation of America was dissolved. Biden was sworn in as the president of the corporation that doesn't exist. Can he change what Trump did? No. Why? Because he's not lawful. He committed fraud when they committed voter fraud. America is under the same laws as us in relation to Magna Carta and all those things. But above everything, in every law in every country, fraud vitiates everything, wipes it out at inception. So if you were created and installed in fraud, which you were, Biden, you were sitting there unlawfully. Doesn't matter if you're sworn in. Doesn't matter if Nancy Pelosi thinks you're good. She's going to jail for a lot of years. And so are you when it all comes out. You think the people in America are going to sit back and let raving lunatics run the country? Socialist dictatorships that want to hand their whole authority to a one-world system of government? How stupid are the people in this world who look and listen to what's put out there, the truth that's put out there? The Great Reset is the coming together of every nation as one. You can't even talk to each other in the street as normal. How the hell do you think you're going to get on trying to put the whole world under one person's control? Who's the one person? The Pope. The Pope? Who else? Who's controlling this? The Vatican. You think I'm wrong? Wait until it all comes out. They've controlled this for years. Are they going to? No. Are the Illuminati? No. Do they exist? Yes. Open your eyes, read, spend the time reading, and like myself and others I have, to learn the truth. You want to fact check what I'm saying, as I said, go back and look at the truth. Who's controlled this world for a lot of years? The Vatican. I'm not talking about particular people. I'm talking about the Jesuits who run the Vatican from behind the scenes and control everything, and are ruthless, disgusting people, to say the least. They're all pedophiles because their priests commit pedophilia or whatever else they commit. They're party to those offences. They know about them. They do nothing. They're in a position to do it. They become part of the offence. Police are the same. Politicians are the same. Lawyers are the same. Judges and magistrates are the same. I mean, look at the nonsense that's happening here. That lady was let out on bail and then locked up again. The police thought, fantastic. And stupid, yep, McGowan says, she deserves it. No, McGowan, you are a nutcase. A filthy, dirty little traitor. You are going where she is. She's coming out. 69 of the Constitution says quarantine was removed from the states. You can't have it. Nobody can give it to you. You can't delegate authority, or the federal government can't, to you. If you can, show me in the Constitution where it says it. It doesn't. Stop lying. You only have set powers guaranteed by the Constitution. Don't say you have extra state ones, because you don't. All state laws continue subject to the Constitution. All new laws are made subject to the Constitution. If they don't comply, they don't exist. Local government doesn't exist. If it does, if you think it's lawful, show me in the Commonwealth Constitution where it says you can have it, where it is there as another tier of government. Don't come your lies, oh, it's residual powers. You didn't have any. There were none at Federation. Wake up. The lies in this state are going to stop. And you liars are going to jail. And you, Beasley, go find another job for a couple of months, because you're going to jail for the rest of your life. You were in Parliament when all this treason, fraud and pedophilia was being revealed. And what did you do about it? Nothing. So you, just like everybody else, if you do nothing, which is what you're doing, you are a traitor. You are a pedophile. Every single politician, I know some of them here, 2 of them are pretty reasonable blokes in Geraldton. But, sorry, if you do nothing about the pedophilia and the treason and the fraud, you are committing fraud, committing treason, and you are pedophiles. You don't do the actions, but you're responsible for what they do because you are in a place to stop it and you're doing nothing. Do you understand that? Do you have any authority at present? No. Do the police? No. Do the courts? Absolutely not. Does the Parliament? No. Not until you reinstate our Constitution. Then you must go to England. You morons. Go to England and prove you have the authority to exist, because you can't. This country is under lawful seizure. It was done in 2014 by Wyatt Wharton, and that's still current. It was done in 2018 by myself, seized for and on behalf of the people under the authority of the Crown, by the authority granted to us by the Queen that you, Beazley, think you, or said yesterday on ABC, you represent. Well, represent her. Represent her. Come on. Show me where you're going to represent her. I heard or tried to listen to the rest of that program. You couldn't, because the Australian Bulldust Club staggered it. The voice could go, so you couldn't understand it. That was deliberate. If it wasn't, why haven't you put it back on again? Anyway, if you believe the inauguration of Biden was lawful, you are mad. Should Trump do something about it? I don't know. That's not up to us. That's up to the American people. But Biden was elected on a fraudulent election by fraudulent people. Are they part of him? Yes. Are they part of the Democrats? Yes. Now, one other issue is racism. There is only one race in this world. It's the human race. I don't care if your eyes are pulled back a bit, you're missing a few eyebrows, you have a different shaped face, your skin is a different colour, you talk a little different, you eat different foods, because you come from different nations. You do not come from different races. You are one race, the human race. Believe me, as a police officer, I saw the insides of a lot of people. I didn't really want to, but it was my job to do it. And they're all the same colour. Isn't that amazing? All have the same organs. Isn't that amazing? And yet, you stand there, if you say boo to somebody, you're a racist. No, you're a nutcase. Learn the facts. There's only one race, the human race. Try getting on. Try putting your bigotry, your lies, your fraud, and your attempts to make claims that don't exist. Put them aside. Stop your lies. You do not know what was happening 200 or 300 or 400 years ago. You don't know what country was run by who. All you've got is the lies of continuous lying governments. Stop believing your lies. Stop telling people you handed it down through your nations, person to person. It's all lies. Absolute lies. So, on that, there's a lot to think about. Have a lovely day. I'm going to.
Now we're done with your tricks. Don't tread on us. Don't tread on us. We're not afraid. You work for us. We're not your slaves. Don't tread on us.